Hey, this is Donnie Smith and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to talk about masking before priming. In the previous videos in this series, we did the body work, the metal straightening, we applied body filler, we applied putty, and then we finished it out in 150, and then we went ahead and prepped the entire fender. Now we're ready to go ahead and get it ready for priming and prime. But before we prime, you want to mask, and that basically is the steps to prevent primer getting from the areas you don't want it. One important thing to keep in mind when priming is you don't want it to go anywhere that you're not wanting to sand, because anywhere primer surfacer gets, you're going to end up sanding that area. So for example, any door jamb gaps or anything like that, on the jambs, you want to go all the way up to the edge with your masking. When you paint, you might drop down a little bit and let the paint wrap around it. And I'd also like to mention when priming, I really don't like to leave edges, hard edges. For example, I'm sure we've all seen those squares on car and it's primer, so they basically just masked a little square off around the repair area and primed it. I really don't like to create those hard edges. Now in this video, I am going to back mask, and it's going to leave a soft edge, and a lot of times I don't even like to do that. However, due to this repair, our blend area is very small and we can't afford to get any primer in that area, so I am going to back mask that. But a lot of times when I'm priming, I'll mask around the car where it doesn't get on the edges of the car, but where I'm actually priming at, I'll just use the gun, turn it down, and just prime just that area and just let the primer itself blend in, fade into the panel. That way I have absolutely no edge at all. So I'll quit talking and we'll get to the video. But first, did you know I'm on Twitter? You can look me up. I'm at DonnieSmith7. I encourage you to follow me, or if you're tweeting about something, be sure and use that hashtag to bring up the collision blast tweets. Before we prime, we need to make sure that the adjacent panels don't get primer on them. A lot of these primers that we have can carry a long ways, which may result in primer getting on an area that you don't want to paint, that you're not going to be painting. So want to prevent that, the overspray. So what we're going to do, we're going to back mask, and anytime you're priming, you want to always go to the edge of everything. When you're painting, you can drop it down a little bit to where you don't bridge on the edge and have any edges. But for priming, we go all the way to the edge, but I'm still going to go ahead and back mask, and the way we do that, so I'm just down in the edge here. And I'm going to go around the edges like this, pull it up. And this will give me something to tape to here. We'll go ahead and do this edge. And this will prevent any primer from getting into the areas that you're not wanting to block sand out. Because anywhere primer does, the primer surfacer, anywhere that it gets on the surface at, you are going to be required to sand that. So now we've got a sticky area around here that we can mask, and I'm going to go ahead and back mask here just with a piece of paper. One thing you don't want, and the reason we're doing all this back masking, is you don't want any hard edges, because that's very hard to sand off when you go to priming. So what we're going to do, and even though we're back masking, that's going to result in a softer edge here. If you prime all the way to this edge, it won't be quite as a hard edge. But also, I'm not going to paint clear to this edge trying to build an edge at all. I just want the overspray to get in that area, and that should block out very, very easy by doing it that way. Just go ahead and outline it with some paper. Now you can see that all the way around the repair area is masked off. Nothing's going to get inside the jambs because it's masked up all the way to the edges. And so that way we can prime without worrying about getting in those areas. The primer can carry further than this, so what we need to do to protect the adjacent panels is we'll get a piece of plastic and we'll put over the entire car, and we'll just cut an area out right here and then take the plastic to the masking paper. Okay, we've got this plastic we put over the whole car. Now we're going to cut it out. Now if you was doing just a real small area, You may make it get by without covering the whole car, but you know, I like to do it just to be safe. Just takes a couple minutes to drop a piece of plastic over it, and you know, prevent hours of trying to get it off. Especially, you know, if you have a new car, you certainly don't want to get overspray on it. But so we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut this out. If I can grab it, I'm just going to cut an area. Okay, now we've got the whole car covered, so there's no overspray going to get on any of the car. We have all the edges by back masking, which is going to leave a softer edge. And we've got a back mask here, which is going to leave a softer edge. And now we can get it ready to prime. What we'll need to do now is we'll blow it off, wipe it down with wax or grease remover and a tack cloth, and we're going to put a couple coats of epoxy primer. We have some metal here, a little bit of metal showing, so epoxy will help with corrosion and it'll help with adhesion. So we'll get it primed. And that is one way to mask. Like I said, there's multiple ways. That's just the method I used on this car so that I didn't get overspray on the blend area. But there's different ways. There's a lot of right ways. There's some wrong ways too. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. I'd really appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up. Go down below and give us a like. Leave us a comment. And if you have a Twitter account, don't forget to follow me at DonnieSmith7 or use the hashtag in some of your tweets. And remember, if something's worth doing, do your best and have a blast doing it. Thanks for watching. Hey, before you go anywhere, be sure and check out some of my other videos and playlists.